Good afternoon, Flaniverse. Welcome in for another all dog show. Really excited for this one. But first, I got to get something off my chest, Neil. Do I have your permission to tilt and to swear?
Full permission.
Fuck! Duval! Fuck! Yeah. Guard Bowers! What the fuck?
Get it out. Get it out, Math.
Oh, I was coming back from Foxborough, and I had my wife kind of watching Red Zone and kind of letting me know what's going on. I saw the writing on the wall. I was like, motherfucker, he's going to chase me down. Pulled over at a rest stop to go pee, and I was like, and I checked quick. I go, I'm fucked.
And if you had a knock on to overtime, would you have made it?
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. It is what it is. It's the Bowers momentum. You know, Uncle Mo always wins, man. So you got to build those lineups with that hammer when you need it. So unfortunately, we were close, man. We were close, Neil, going.
But I thought we had it. And BTJ let you down in a pretty big way, too.
Yeah. I mean, we knew that one was kind of thin going in. But, yeah, the Raiders' secondary sucks. So I was thinking, if anything, if he scores a touchdown, we'll probably get home. And that's what I said. I was kind of walking out of Foxborough, Gillette Stadium, and I was like, oh, I showed my buddy. I was like, look what I got going. He's like, no shit. But I was like, and I said it, my God, I was like, he needs to score a touchdown for this to hold. And he didn't get home.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but I appreciate all the followers and friends in the community. I saw a lot of good shout outs, a lot of DMs. I appreciate everybody wishing me well and vice versa to you guys on the brutal sweats that this game is. So, but this is a forward thinking show. We're going to move on to week 10, and we have a special guest, Chad Candles, joining us to talk about week 10. Chad, congratulations on punching a couple weeks ago. Was it week 6? Did you get home?
Yeah, it was the first of the Dowdle weeks. I think it was 6.
Yeah.
You should know.
Yeah. You had the first like perfect combo drafting early, getting Rico in the 6th. Yep. And you had that unique combo to punch, and you held for 3rd. I think it was.
I did by like 0.1. It was.
Yeah, you had the same sweat I did, but you didn't have any PMR, and you held.
I was with you. Last week I was with you. I was the 3rd highest team without Bowers. I finished 11th. Bowers killed me too.
Yeah, I saw you.
Set me down a little, but man, I was with you. Bowers just ruined us.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I appreciate your message. And I was like, slow down, Chad. A lot of football you play, because I thought you and I had a good shot at it.
No, I was trying to say I'm rooting for you, not like you got it. You know, there's like a not trying to jinx it, but saying I'm with you. You know, it's a fine line.
We were all cheering for Math, and it was it looked like it was meant to be. And then, but you know, we got how many more weeks do we have left of this?
3
more weeks. All right, 3 more weeks. We got to punch one.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, let's turn the page. All right, let's get going. Let's look at the quarterbacks. I'll share my screen here, Neil, if you want to pull it up.
Yep. As soon as I see it, I'll put it up there.
There it is, Sharon.
All right.
So, yeah, Chad, I've seen you in the lobby early and often, like myself, and the day-to-day grinders. So what are you thinking about quarterback? How are you attacking? What are some of the angles you're seeing on the quarterback position this week?
Yeah, I feel like if I don't end up with – first of all, I'm not taking Jackson or Allen in the first. Like, he does fall into the second. So I've been getting him kind of in the middle of the second when I've gotten him. As far as the other quarterbacks, it tends to be mostly just looking for stacks. I think at the end, there's some really interesting stuff. You see, like, I think Justin Fields is a big question because he could be a total 0. Like, if Tyrod starts and he's active, like, you could end up with some just like weird stuff there, but he's going to be very low owned. He's kind of interesting. You know, there's some late guys, Mariota and JJ McCarthy, who have a little rushing upside. So I feel like this is a week where you can wait on quarterback. And I feel like people are waiting. Like, I think 6th round quarterback this week has been very popular, whereas like last week and the week before, by the 4th round, like everyone had a quarterback. So it seems like it's a deep class. There's some natural stacking areas. Like you have Caleb and Loveland going like around the 1st through 3rd drafter. You see those guys pair that a lot. I think Komet practiced limited and he's going through the protocol. So I don't know if we'll be scared of that again, but yeah, mostly it's been very stack heavy unless you push it off, in which case, like, there's interesting stuff. I mean, I didn't mention Brock Purdy, another guy who's going undrafted, who I'm like, I'll take him on stack. doesn't seem terrible. I don't know where you've been at.
Are you mostly trying to stack this week? Or are you going a little bit more naked at times, or doing like minis with a quarterback and opposing wide receivers and stuff like that?
I think I'm being a little more just jam projected points, taking a page out of Crutch's book.
Yeah.
I think there is definitely something to be said for doing that, just trying to get as many points as possible and doing that. But yeah, if the stack works out, I'll go for it. But it's a fun week. Like the quarterbacks, they all have, I feel like a lot of them have multiple stacking options. Like Dart, you can do Wandale or Slayton. With Drake May, you can do, he kind of pairs naturally with Diggs, but you could also take a flyer on like Pop Douglas or something like that. Baker's super interesting. You can get him with Igbuka, but you could also wait and take a flyer on Godwin or Tez. Like there's like, I feel like there's a lot of paths this week. Like there's so many different ways to play it. And one of the more interesting things is Darnold, now that he has Shaheed. If it's a Darnold Shaheed week, Shaheed's not on the slate. So it could just be unstacked Darnold could beat the Darnold JSN teams. Like there's right. So many different ways. I don't know. I really like this slate.
Yeah, I do too. So Neil, what was popping out to you in your first kind of initial review, when you first jumped in the lobby today?
Yeah, so I've done 2 drafts now. I didn't send you the first one. I don't remember what I got in that one. I know in the second draft I got Jackson Dart is actually the highest projected right now at fantasy points in half PPR. I guess it doesn't matter what the scoring is for quarterback. But Jackson Dart is their highest projected quarterback. So got on the clock at my turn. He was falling a little bit past ADP, and I was like, all right, if he's going to be, I'm not like, I agree with Chad. I'm typically going to be targeting quarterbacks in the 5th, 6th round, trying to get my stacks there. But in that case, I just decided to take a Dart where he was, I think he was close to ADP, but falling a little bit, and just seeing where he was in the fantasy points projections. I was like, all right, I guess I'll take the highest projected quarterback a round and a half or whatever later than Allen and Jackson go. So Dart kind of stood out to me as a strong quarterback play. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just kind of targeting stacks. Caleb looks like a good one. Actually, I'm trying to remember what I did with I think my first one was actually JJ McCarthy. I took him. I passed on Justin Jefferson at like the 1-2 turn, but then ended up taking Jordan Addison. So then I ended up taking McCarthy with that duo, kind of low owned. I had Devontae Adams. I was actually trying to get to Stafford, but somebody else took him. But yeah, just generally I think that there are a lot of pretty good quarterbacks in the 5th, 6th round. And for me, it generally comes down to stacking. I still am a big fan of just trying to correlate my lineups to the highest extent possible. I know it's not quite as necessary, or people win frequently without stacking in the dog bowl, but I still think it's just one of the few levers you can pull to like try to get to the top. So I typically am trying to stack. I'm just not trying to I'm still like trying to get projections, not trying to forego too much in projections for my stacks, I guess is kind of the concession that I'm making to the way people play the dog bowl.
Yeah, sounds smart to me. Yeah, I'm kind of in lockstep with you guys. I think it's going to be really hard for the elite guys with their current game environments to separate at the extent with, kind of the value over replacement stuff this week. So I've been kind of staying away, or if I get them at value, like Chad, like you're doing, kind of waiting in that second round, maybe trying to get some pairings that might be fun. But yeah, I agree. It's a 10-game slate. So usually historically 10-game slates are a little bit on the lowering scoring slate. A lot of the game totals are kind of middling, other than like 4 or 5 of the higher ones that are high and tight that we shared in the Discord today. And I'm sure we're going to talk about them once we get into the running back and wide receiver rooms. But is there any kind of last minute shout outs you guys want to do in the quarterback position, something that you're liking more? I'm with you, Neil. I'm clicking Dart quite a bit in the 3rd round. I think that is a nice click right now with that rushing floor. I just worry about, all of his secondary weapons. Can they get home against that bad Bears defense? But again, That's a game total I like. It's high and tight. It's a high likely of a high scoring game, and it's a tight spread. So it's a game environment that usually we like to attack in these games.
I wonder, and this is not something that I've done, and this is kind of my first time thinking about it. We talked about a little bit how maybe the Jets defense is something that we can attack, and generally I want to do it, I think, through running back. But with their recent trades, maybe it's a little bit just like a cake matchup. This could be like the new Bengals or something. So I maybe you could think about Dylan Gabriel if he's like going to be 1% owned, somebody in a cake matchup. But it's not something that I feel strongly about. Just kind of maybe at really low ownership, maybe the matchup is right.
Yeah, he'll be like less than 10%.
Yeah. Mariota, actually, I saw somebody taking. I thought that was pretty sharp. Mariota
Yep.
runs a bit. Yeah.
Yep.
I've been seeing some guys pair him up with Debo a little bit, rushing
Yeah.
floor,
Or Ertz. I've seen that as like the last 5th, 6th round kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it moving. Running back, the most important position to get right. Last week it was kind of fade everybody but CMC up top. You think we see a similar outcome where some of the elites fail, and it's either CMC, Gibbs, Cook, Achane, Dowdle? I think one of these guys smash more than others, or what are you seeing, Chad? How are you kind of attacking the early running backs?
It's aged kind of badly. I was kind of like Cook. I was taking Cook every time he wasn't CMC, and missing practice today with multiple things has me a little worried. He came out of the game, he came back in. But then it sounds like on the last play of the game, he kind of got hurt again. So people are like, trying to analyze exactly what's going on with that. But gosh, that matchup against Miami, he's from Miami. So if you want to play the narrative game, there's that. He's absolutely dominated them previously. So I was taking tons of Cook. I'm probably still going to get him, but maybe I will now be like, okay, I should probably take some Jahmyr Gibbs. Fading him seems bad. But I was really just like early on, man, I just want to get all the Cook shares I can. So that's aged kind of badly. Dowdle missed practice, but then I immediately said that seems like more of a maintenance thing. So I really like the Dowdle. I really like the Dowdle matchup. Achane's great because he's kind of game script proof. If the Dolphins are close, he runs the ball. If they're behind, they throw him the ball. And it's like, all right, well, that's he's tough. Judkins I could see rising, especially as people realize the Jets are circling the drain. I've been trying to grab him. He practiced today, so if that Q tag I think now is turned green, so it's like I could see him coming up. And then other than that, later on, Monungai, I think the Monungai Swift wars have divided the Dog Bowl drafter community pretty heavily. But Swift questionable. Limited practice today, so I could see that flipping back, or at least the steam on Monungai was pretty steamy, and now I think that might put the brakes on that.
Yeah, he's pretty much still going second round. I think I just did one before the show, and he was kind of in the second round still. Swift was going right after him, really. So it's kind of personal preference or just kind of playing that game back and forth. I've been clicking both of them kind of early week, and then now I'm going to I might take a little break here and see how it plays out. Maybe attack it a little bit different. But yeah, I agree. I mean, my first kind of thought with the running back position was like Gibbs is in a smash spot. They want to get back into the win column here, and they're probably gonna. I think both running backs in that Lions backfield, anytime they got a 28 applied team total, it's pretty solid. So I've been clicking both Lions quite a bit early this week. CMC for me is kind of the 1.1. I did do Gibbs like one or two times just because it's just the NRG luck of how I'm going to, I'm going to do about anywhere from 25 to 50 of these bad boys. So I'm hopeful I'll get a couple more 1.1s and I can have a little bit more CMC. But what are you seeing, Neil, in the running back? What are the stats saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking McCaffrey number 1, Gibbs number 2. I think those are pretty clean. Cook, I think, should be the number 3 if he's healthy. I think this is generally the order that I have it in. I think Dowdle projects as well as Christian McCaffrey right now for fantasy points, which, as I was just saying in chat, I'm not sure if those are updated at all, or maybe that's some kind of an automated thing, like the projections get in there, but it might not be updated for this week. So I don't want to read too much into those projections just yet. But Dowdle, I think they say they're going to give him a heavy workload. We're relying on him this weekend. That's why he skipped practice today. He's been amazing with that heavy workload. It's a fine matchup with New Orleans. So I like Dowdle quite a bit. QJ was Quinton Judkins, a target of mine. I took him at the 1-2 turn in my first draft. I think that's fair price, might be even a little bit light for his on a half PPR site in this matchup with the Jets, who just traded away maybe their 2 best defensive players. I don't know, but two of their best defensive players at the very least. I think that's going to be a great matchup. Judkins has a great workload whenever he is healthy. So yeah, he seems kind of like a smash pick to me. I took a Monungai in my last draft. Sadly, I was assuming Swift was going to be out, but Swift missed both Wednesday and Thursday last week. So being limited already on Wednesday is all right, Swift might be back this week. And who knows, maybe it's 50-50 with those two. Monungai was already eating into it, but then Monungai, I mean, we have to remember he had an awesome game against the Bengals. Does that even count? Like, should we just like get rid of stats against the Bengals because everybody crushes the Bengals? But yeah, I like the Dave Montgomery call late. Obviously you can take shots on Breece Hall, but it's not a great matchup. Yeah, I don't think I have any like late running backs that I'm targeting right now. So I'm curious to hear if you have any beyond Montgomery.
Yeah, just kind of piggybacking on the Bengals. I mean, the Bears are just like they're like, or I'm sorry, the Giants are like right there too. They're just as bad against running backs. So I feel like both of them could potentially get home a little bit. It really all depends on the touchdowns. Who gets the touchdowns, which probably favors Monungai, unless Swift breaks a long one. But it's kind of a unique angle that you're going to have to make, and it's going to be personal preference, in my opinion.
Yeah. For me, I don't understand Travion Henderson's price. Like I think Ramondre has turf toe and he's going to miss again. He missed practice today. Yeah. Like I don't know why he's going in the 60s. I think that's way too late. Again, I really think if Terrell Jennings doesn't get that one touchdown, I think people saw that and were like hardy har, like it's still a split, but it like really wasn't. It really was Travion had the lion's share of the backfield. He missed out on that one touchdown, but like that, I do not understand that ADP. It is way too late for me. So yeah.
I like that call.
I saw Travion in the wild, man. He is thin. He's thin. And I think they know that. And I think they're just going to try to use him more on the edges. They're not going to let him rush too much on the interior. And they're really just going to get him going kind of more in the passing game. And that's how we've seen that's pretty much what they did with him in the first half. In the second half, he they had to lead a little bit, and McDaniels was kind of doing some weird stuff with his play call. They played a lot of 21, which was really weird. They played a lot of like fullback wide receiver or fullback running back stuff. And I thought that was very odd, but it worked out because they were getting some splash plays off of it as they're trying to just get more time for Drake. Drake made to kind of get it to Hunter Henry and Pop Douglas and Diggs. Just going to move the chains that way. And it's a tough matchup. It's like almost the identical matchups for Hendo this week as last week. You can't run in the interior on Tampa. You have to run on the edges. So he'll probably get a lot of like maybe again 50. You're going to get 15, and you're just hoping he breaks one. I don't think if he break one, though, I don't think he's going to get you the points that you need to punch a ticket, but it could. So he's one that I'm going to maybe be kind of with market, but I'm not going to be smashing Hendo personally.
I guess for me, it's like the way you beat Tampa on the ground is like what he's good at. So that's I don't know. That's kind of like what I've thought about him there. If there's like a running back kind of designed to exploit what you can exploit, it's him.
Yeah, I just worry that they get the splash plays, kind of like what happened last week. You get the splash plays, you line up Pop Douglas in the backfield, and you get him on one-on-one on a linebacker for a touchdown. You know, if that's Hendo, great. You get a potential at 20 points, but if you miss out, then you're kind of at an average game, maybe 8 to 10 points out of Hendo. So it's a high risk, high reward type of play is how I see Hendo this week.
Can I throw one more name out there? Actually, just came to mind as similar to. I mean, we did the Monungai thing last week against Cincinnati. If you got ahead of the board on that, like that worked out pretty well. I don't know if you punched any tickets, but you could get 5th round. 6th round Cal Monungai this week. I mean, Ray Davis do we think there's any real shot that James Cook misses? Because I mean, I know you don't want to hear it, Math, as the biggest James Cook fan I know, but if he misses, then Ray Davis will have, I mean, he'll have the backfield not to himself, because obviously Ty Johnson will get like the passing game work, but he'll get, I think, most of the running work probably in a not as good of a matchup as Cincinnati, obviously, but like pretty good matchup with the Dolphins. So maybe Ray Davis is somebody that you could consider, because again, if we get news that James Cook injury is serious and he misses the week, Ray Davis is going to, I think, move up to probably early 3rd round at least. Like I think it would move up pretty significantly.
Yeah, that's an interesting, great shout. I didn't even think of it yet. I'm kind of playing the Cook thing as this is Veterans Wednesday right now.
Probably right. Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's, I think it's been 2 straight weeks. We've had some wild news come through on Thursday, Friday that kind of has changed the slate up quite a bit. Especially the Lamar news. I forget what one was last week. We had a kind of some interesting ones last week. It was the Swift stuff. Which Chad, you were on that. Shout out to you. You were on your streams. You were right on with the Swift info. So
yeah, it's funny, Neil. I actually joined a dog bowl with that idea, and then I lost my nerve to take Ray Davis because his like utilization's been kind of wonky.
It's been so he's different than Monungai in that. So to me, last week Monungai was like worst case scenario. He's like getting 40% of the backfield against the Bengals. So like you still have a viable play, I think, in the 6th round, regardless. Whereas Ray Davis is a 0 if he's not starting. You just got to be risky. Like, well, this draft might just be dead if he's not starting. But it was weird because like when Cook got hurt, they were like inside the 10, and then they brought Ty Johnson in for it. Like I would have like this felt like it should be Ray Davis, and it wasn't. So I don't know. I'm just like the last time Cook was out, it was the Ray Davis show, and so if we just go off of that, I just feel like this year we haven't seen that as I don't know. But yeah, if it is, you're literally getting a guy who's going to be in the 2nd round and the 6th round. And that's huge. It's maybe more of a play for tomorrow. Like if James Cook doesn't practice tomorrow, then it's like, okay, this might be real. And then maybe you think about James Cook or Ray Davis. But yeah, I don't think that I'm ready to do it yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Watch those practice reports, especially tomorrow.
I also like this call from Emo, by the way. Aaron Jones may miss, but again, that's probably veteran rest day. But like that would be he's kind of in play regardless, like sort of slightly more so than Ray Davis at least.
Yeah, I see. Emo Cowboy also noted about Bucky trending not to play. I think that's right. I imagine Bucky probably does miss. Look, if you just look at the snaps, it looks like it was an even split with Sean Tucker, but I think a lot of that was on the last 2 drives when the game was out of hand. The only thing is I think White lost the goal line roll. Like he had that the week before, and it was an utter failure. And they gave Tucker the 2 cracks last game, so I do worry that you don't have that, but it definitely he was a guy that people were trying to get in on, and it didn't really work out, but you definitely could go to him. He's another guy who's super late. I think he's in the 60s as well.
Yeah. Math, I have not noticed that you're so much louder than us. I don't know if anybody else noticed. Has not bothered me at least.
Yeah, I'll try my best there. Are you doing the Rashad White click? Are you playing chicken with that, Chad, or what are you thinking on that?
I haven't done it yet because I keep taking Travion there.
Yeah.
So maybe I should split that a little, especially hearing you being a little more cautious on him than my just kind of like, he's going to go around Vita Vea. We're good. Don't worry about it. We'll see.
Yeah. I think you don't want to mess around with the Pats DST with running backs. I just don't. I mean, what they did to Bijan and when I watched it was just very, 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 very impressive.
Yeah.
So I just don't think you're going to get, and White's not Bijan. I'm close. So, I don't think I think it's kind of a floor White game for sure. It's going to be, if anything, it's going to be Tampa Bay through the air. I like the Tampa Bay passing attack, especially the guys that do in-breaking routes in the middle of the field. Should do well. Kate Otten types, Tez Johnson, stuff like that. And we'll get to that in the wide receiver spot. Any other shout outs with a running back?
Don't think so.
Could I throw one deep scroll? Like where are we on? What's our temperature check on Woody Marks? Are we?
I almost threw that out. I almost threw that out because I think Nick Chubb also didn't practice today.
He didn't practice. Again, it said undisclosed, so I haven't seen anything. I also haven't looked in like an hour or so.
Nice matchup with Jacksonville. Yeah, I like the call. He was kind of earning the backfield role anyway.
We were so excited to click him like 4 weeks ago, and now we're like, he's had a few tough matchups, and we're like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a risk reward click for me. That O-line is terrible, absolutely terrible, and it's easier to throw the ball on Jacksonville than run the ball. So, but for me, it's kind of Nico and move on with the Houston offense right now. All right, let's get to wide receiver. Let's have some fun here because this, to me, it's wide open. Really, other than the top. With JSN and Puka, St. Brown, and then Jefferson. And then, I like Adams this week. I think everybody does. I don't see him fall very much in the second. He historically has just crushed San Francisco. In San Francisco, it's going back home. That's where he grew up. big spike week potential. Plus, he's just scoring so many touchdowns. So I kind of have it as is right now, and then I'm a Buka over Collins, and then that's when it really is just one large flat tier for me. It's pretty much Flowers all the way down here to like Marvin Harrison, and then it's kind of personal preference after that. How are you seeing it, Chad?
I agree with you pretty much completely. The only thing is I might literally have no Nico Collins. Like I'm like you. I'm going to do around 25 to 50 of these, and I mean I'm not going to get it like an even smooth percentage anyway. And I just think with Mills there, I'm just not going to take him around there. I'd rather take the punt on something else. You know, he's unstackable. You're not going to take Mills. Yeah, it's a good matchup, but I just the quarterback play I think is just too bad. But yeah, otherwise I completely agree with what you said. Devontae Adams as chip chasing, and that they've given him, he's got the nose, so now it's like, well, it's that's got to be worth a few spots of ADP. But no, truly, he just scores nothing but scoring touchdowns. So yeah, I'm with you there on your assessment of the receivers.
Yeah, what do you see, Neil? Anything that you think needs to be flip-flopped a little bit, or are you kind of in consensus there?
I mean, I like Waddle quite a bit, so I might move Waddle up a bit, might move him ahead of Nico Collins also. But yeah, I think I agree with you in general about your assessment of the receivers. Like the top of the order looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I took Devontae Adams over Justin Jefferson. Just like maybe that I should, as a Vikings fan, try to look forward and see that JJ McCarthy can support one of the receivers having a really big game. I guess just so far it's been like a lot of like, yeah, pretty good games for Justin Jefferson every game seems like, but he has not had like the mega spike weeks where it's like the matchup looks so juicy for Devontae Adams. But I think over a long enough sample, I would actually take Jefferson over Adams more frequently there. But in general, yeah, I think it's about the right order. I like Waddle quite a bit where he's going, so I might move him up a little bit, and then it's there are players that I like as we scroll down, but I don't feel that strongly about who like the best back end clicks are at wide receiver. It's generally going to be looking for stacks or getting unique combos.
I'm with. I like. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say real quick. I like the Waddle stuff as well, and I haven't done this yet. I've done this in the 6s, but the 12s, the ADPs don't line up, so you got to pull them up. But I kind of like Allen Waddle because I think a true Allen ceiling game needs some life from the Dolphins. Like I don't like to force game environment stuff, but that's one where like if Allen nukes, it cannot be like 28-0. Like it's got to be something where the Dolphins show some life. So I think that if you're gonna take Allen, I kind of like doing an Allen Waddle team and getting intentional about that. I'll probably do one or two of that if I can.
Yeah. Just back on the JJ, he had 40% of the targets last week. So yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. So. It could be just like they didn't have the ball that much. Like it didn't work out where like, JJ McCarthy had a nice game and he threw for, I don't know, like 140, 150 yards, something like that. Just didn't get like, so we haven't seen the like massive volume games. And I don't know if those are coming or if like KOC is going to keep, kind of treating them with kid gloves. I think it was more just like the way the game went last week that just didn't have those long fields really. So yeah, I think that the potential is there, and at some point they're going to have huge weeks together. And this seems like as good of a week as any. So I actually skipped on Jefferson and then ended up taking Addison because I like thought about it more and I was like, actually, I think it's going to happen at some point. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I still do have Jefferson over Adams most of the time.
Yeah, good chat with Waddle. I like that. It's been hard though. There's a lot of guys that like Waddle, so they've been moving him up a little bit. You guys think we can go back to Rome, or is he just too boomer busty for us, kind of in that early third round?
That whole range I like. I'm in on Odunze, Wilson, and Olave. I'm just taking all three of them. Those three are big targets to me. I think that's a bit of a tier break. Diggs, just his usage is so inconsistent. Ted McMillan's fine. The QB plays so up and down, but those three, Odunze, Wilson, Olave, I'm like, just take them every time I can get them.
Yep, I agree. I kind of like Harris over Debo and maybe over Milton this week. It should be kind of in a trailing game strip. I think I shared in Discord, McBride and Harrison had about 65% of the team targets. So that is a super condensed offense right now. And we like that. So I've been targeting that quite a bit.
Yeah, Harrison's kind of fun because you can Brissett's free, and he wasn't drafted in the first like couple days of this, and if you want, it's always nice to have a quarterback where you just know you get the stack. Like, you generally have that in the 6th round.
Yep. I like Wandale a bit. Even half PPR. I know he's more of a PPR merchant, but he's been targeted quite a bit. It's a nice matchup against the Bears. Like we just see teams have really nice games against the Bears pretty frequently. So I do think that Wandale is kind of, I mean, he's not sneaky, but you can often get him past ADP. Like when I took Jackson Dart, I was able to get Wandale several picks past ADP. So I think it's a lot of the time just people take him if they have Jackson Dart. Yeah, I think he's a relatively strong pick. And then even Slayton, I think, is fine. I thought briefly about Ray McLeod, but I just don't think he has enough target upside.
Yeah. He got a lot of routes. I saw that. I was like, whoa. But I think part of it is Bellinger was out. So they didn't play a lot of 12. They played a lot of 11.
Yeah.
Bellinger's back in, and they're getting way more splash plays out of 12 versus 11. So that's one I'm tracking this week. If Bellinger's in, then that gets me a little bit more on pretty much all the Giants, because I think that opens up some of these fun splash plays that DSTs don't really know how to practice, and they get caught off guard. So bad communication leads to wide open guys downfield.
Yeah, I love Slayton this week. Wandale's good too, but I'm like Slayton around pick 60 is so nice, especially with like he lines up with Dart most of the time if you have Dart there, and you can grab him in the 5th.
Yep. All right. What are we doing at San Francisco? Are we? Do we like Jennings? Do we think Pearsall's back? I feel like this is a big talking point, or like a good decision to get right, is San Francisco Rams. It's the hammer. It's a 49.5 point total, and it's tight, 3.5 home dogs with San Francisco. So this could be a decision that matters come it's about 7:00 on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, for me, it's just Jennings. It's Jennings or Kittle. I don't think Pearsall is going to play, just based on like the comments from last week. I think he missed practice again, so I would rather go there than Bourne. I've seen Bourne get drafted. I don't really see that with Purdy coming back. That seems more like a Mac Jones's friend kind of thing. And Jennings, I think, was out the nuke game. So, but yeah, I love Juwan Jennings at his ADP. He's come up though. He used to be in the 60s. He's kind of been getting a little steamed up. But also, I mean, I'll also take unstack Purdy as if I whiff on all my stacks. I'm big on the Niners.
How confident are you that Purdy's coming back this game?
I was drafting him last week thinking he was playing then.
I mean, me too, but then I saw something somewhere on like, I think on Twitter, just somebody said like there was some indication that he wasn't actually that close to playing last week. So I'm like a little bit like, is he actually playing this week? I don't know.
I know. It's hard to know because there was a lot of like, oh, they're scared to play him at MetLife. I'm like, I don't know. That feels like something people on Twitter like to pick on.
Right.
But he was a limited practice again. I mean, he was limited last week, so I don't know. I guess maybe I'm more confident than I ought to be that Purdy's back. So
yeah,
I have confidence, but it might be terribly misplaced, and it's not based on anything but vibe. So please take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. I think the practice report's definitely Thursday, Friday. It's not like he's been drafted a whole lot right now. I think the contest is only like, was it 10%, 15% right now? It's been a slow click rate right now. So there's not any crazy combos that you're missing out right now.
Yeah.
Detroit, we didn't really get into St. Brown or JMO. You guys liking that, the Detroit passing attack, or are you mostly thinking it's going to be just a blowout on the ground against the helpless Commanders?
I think it's good. I think Amon-Ra, at least, like, I mean, we've seen them continue to throw even in a blowout. So I think at least Amon-Ra is still a strong top of the board play. And then JMO, I think, is kind of what JMO always is, where it's like, maybe you'll have a 50-yard touchdown today and get you 12 fantasy points. So I think, like, I don't love JMO, but it's a nice matchup. The coach did talk about getting him more involved. So I think JMO looks like a fine play.
Yeah, Mathology, I think it was you and Neil last week, and forgive me if this is wrong. We're talking about how it was a division game last week against Minnesota, so they might not like force the JMO stuff. They might like play that more straight up. But I think this week, he's such a player coach. They might really try to get JMO like more involved and the stuff he needs. Like this could be the like, okay, let's let's tick the boxes of who needs what. And so I don't know. If you want to be a little narrative-y, I could definitely see this being a JMO week, but it's it's so hard to predict with him. But yeah, I'm gonna take him sometimes for sure.
It is. Washington gives up house calls in the back end a lot, so it's a good spot. It's a good angle to take. It's not high confidence, but it's something that I've been thinking about when I'm on the clock and he's there.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to be extremely overweight, but I think it's a high probability JMO finds pay dirt on Sunday.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about Cleveland with the weakened Jets defense, or do you like anybody? Would it be Judy? Is Tillman coming back this week?
That's the one. I haven't done it yet. He hasn't been drafted yet, but I'm probably going to mix in some Tillman later on in the week here. It's not really worth it right now, but I think Judy's just toast at this point in time. He's had so much opportunity, even in good matchups, and he hasn't performed. So, but I've been clicking Fannin mostly right now on the Cleveland side, other than Junkins.
Yep.
I think I agree with that myself.
Yeah.
I wouldn't begrudge anybody who clicks Judy because we've seen him like in that it was a Pittsburgh game. He got like some crazy amount of targets, like 13 targets, I guess it was.
Yeah,
so like
6 points. You like 6 points on 13 targets? He's toast. He is toast.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
Right. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm not. Bad. I don't love it. I'm just saying. I see the vision. Not very good vision.
Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay is a good talking point. With Godwin, I think a lot of people have been kind of just playing the Q tag with him to maybe stand on the clock, or maybe if he does play, could be a good matchup with in the middle of the field. I kind of like Tez. I like how he plays, and Mbuka for sure. You guys liking Tampa Bay passing attack at all this week?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you there. Mbuka is obviously the primary, but
right.
I couldn't. Yeah, exactly what you said. Godwin is nice because you could get a great receiver, or you could just stay on the clock. Either way is fine. And Tez is a nice click if Godwin sits. So
yeah. He right now using fantasy points rankings, Tez ranks just behind Romo Dunze as the next best projection at wide receiver. So he projects pretty damn well, obviously with the assumption that Chris Godwin's out.
Yeah, fantasy Dwayne McFarland at fantasy likes him too. Been noticing that. One couple last shout outs before we move to the worst position ever is tight end, especially after last week, is Buffalo. Do you guys think it's going to be kind of a ground game attack? But with the Cook news, does that maybe change it, or we might see Allen maybe throw it a little bit, and that might open up Shakir and Coleman? I've been seeing Coleman is projecting decently this week. That's thin. It's kind of like Jerry Duty. It's kind of a thin click. But what do you guys think there on the Bills passing attack?
They just never have any ceiling. And I know no one has ceiling, and then suddenly they do. But it's hard. It's hard to see any of these guys getting home. I know we had that like week one Keon Coleman thing, but that was like kind of weird, and it all happened in one quarter, and it was just it was all very strange. And Shakir, like he's fine. But like, I don't know. It's so hard for me to get to any of the Bills receivers, and it's been that way for a while. I don't know if Neil, you might feel differently, but it's really tough for me.
It's tough for me also. It's not a great matchup with Miami. Like they have a strong secondary, so it's like okay, but at the same time, I thought about going to Keon Coleman just from all right, everybody's off of Keon Coleman. He's going to go undrafted, and it's obviously still a strong offense. I didn't get there, and I don't know. I would get there in a 150 set. I would get to Keon Coleman if I were playing 150, but I'll probably do 10, 15, 20 of these. And I'm not sure if I'll get to any Keon Coleman. I think Khalil Shakir is still fine just because Khalil Shakir is a grown ass man and can get it done against anybody. But I don't love it. I think he's fine at ADP. If I take Josh Allen, I probably will stack it up. I just, hope that he does it through the air primarily. But no, I don't think I don't particularly love any of them. Math, are you in on the Buffalo receivers?
I have been chasing that implied point total a little bit. So I have been clicking a little bit of Shakir and a little bit of Coleman just for the dart throw, because Coleman's going to be like probably less than 30% owned.
Yeah.
He's barely getting clicked. So like if he does get a touchdown, the wide receivers up top all kind of fail. You can kind of have a separator there and get some leverage on the field. That's just kind of how I've kind of been playing this a little bit, is how can I get a little unique and low, because I'm thinking it's going to be a low scoring slate. You never know. Last week I kind of thought that too, and I like 160 punched it. It was crazy. But we just had a lot of touchdowns. We had like over 60 touchdowns on the slate last week. I don't think we're going to see that number this week. Before we move to tight end, though, I wanted to quickly talk about the Patriots wide receivers now that Booty's not there. How are you guys thinking with Tampa Bay pretty stout, and it's really just Hendo in the backfield? It's going to be Drake May probably, scrambling and taking shots. Do you guys like Pop Douglas? Chad, how are you playing New England's passing attack?
Well, I'm playing it wrong because I took a Kyle Williams share, and then Crutches made fun of me on Discord and then asked why. And I was like, well, someone smarter than me took him, which was true because I won't say who, but somebody who already has a dog ball seat took him. I was like, oh, this is a sharp click. Because, you hear the coach speak. I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And now I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Let me just take Pop Douglas. I think it's Pop Douglas for me for the late receivers. I think you're just like kind of buying vaporware if you buy Kyle Williams here. So I don't know. For me, it's Pop Douglas. I guess if you want to take the Booty Q tag, you can, but it's I don't know, hamstring stuff. I imagine he sits. So I would probably just take the Douglas. Like you said, earlier, Mathology, they could scheme some stuff up for him against this Tampa defense, and that might just be like what you need.
He was running a lot of the fun stuff. They were drawing stuff up for Pop Douglas. They had him in motion. They had him in the backfield.
Yeah.
And they were there late in the game when they needed a first down. They threw him on a big boy kind of out breaking route, and he caught a 50-50 ball. So I think he's building some trust with Drake May too, and with the coaching staff. So I think they're only going to get him more and more snaps and utilization on the field moving forward. They're going to have a hard time trusting the rookie. He already lined up in the wrong spot from Jump Street last week. I saw him getting yelled at on the sideline. So,
yeah. Sorry, I just said that I would be okay with Olamide Zacchaeus in chat, and then remember that Luther Burden practiced today, so I take it back. It's a nice matchup, but I don't think I would get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's quickly go through the tight end so we can jump in the lobby here and draft a couple. It's Trey McBride. It's Kittle. Can they separate like last week? What do you guys think? Are they going to separate like Bowers did? What do you think, Neil?
Not like Bowers did. I mean, nobody separates like Bowers did last week. That was just like pummeled the field.
He separated us from our dog bowl tickets.
He did. Yeah. I mean, it should have been so nice for me if not for separating you guys from your dog bowl tickets. I mean, Chad, you already have one, but Math was trying to get us a ticket there. So it was like, I was so in on Bowers last week. Like it should have been so exciting. And instead it was like, fuck, this is just like ruined our shot at the dog bowl. So it ended up being a bummer.
Yeah. We love Bowers. It's the Jaguars secondary for just not changing. They just, and that one linebacker, I tell you, he slipped or he just would take the worst angles on Bowers ever. And Bowers would just burn him every time. It's like, dude, like get better, please.
And on top of that, just Bowers. I mean, just watching that game was like, this is who we thought he was. Like he's so good. Like
he's so good.
He looked, because he was hurt. He didn't look good for a while. And then he finally looked healthy and it was like, oh my God. This is why we took him in the second round. So I don't think that we have anything like that this week where it's like so obvious that this is the play at tight end. I think we have a lot of like fairly strong tight end. Like I think it's deep, but not like McBride looks good with Brissett. Like he's just been so much better with Brissett. So I think it makes sense for McBride to be number one here. Kittle, of course. Yeah, I think the field essentially has it how it should be. I don't know if you guys see it different than what we have it here.
No, and the other thing about Bowers last week is he was like a 2-3 turn player. Like which also was like, this is a huge value because he's never going to be at the 2-3 turn again. Like he's just been hurt. McBride, if you get him this week, he's like a 1-2 turn player. So like if he nukes well, he's a first round pick. He should have a good week. And obviously if he scores 35 points, but I don't think that's super realistic for him. It's tough for me. Some of these guys, I have a lot of question marks. If you don't get Kittle, McBride, or Laporta, it's like, oof, maybe you put Kincaid in there, but after that, Loveland, Kmet could be back. There's so many questions. The guy I like down here is Juwan Johnson. I think with Shaheed's departure, we've seen him be kind of a downfield threat for the Saints. Like we've seen him carry their offense previously. I like Juwan Johnson. I think he's too cheap in that range. But then other than that, it's just kind of like tell the story you want at tight end. So I don't know if you all are seeing it differently.
Yep. Just chasing a touchdown.
Yep.
And if you get 2, it's probably optimal.
Yeah.
That's I'm the same way. I'm I still like AJ Barner quite a bit. I think he's got a real role on that team. He's getting all the routes. Same thing with Theo Johnson. They
gave Barner the tush push last week, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. I've been going to a little bit to Isaiah Likely in that game. I got a feeling that my Minnesota's DST is getting back and they're stopping the run. So that game could be a little interesting to me where Lamar might have to throw it a little bit. And I think they play a lot of 12. I think Likely and Andrews are both kind of in play. I don't see Likely getting picked all that much. So it could be kind of a low owned guy that if he gets 16 a touch could matter on the slate.
I have not considered Isaiah Likely, but I definitely, I could see.
You could see it though.
You have seen the Likely game. It just kind of randomly happens. But I thought the snap count was kind of like pretty poor on it. I don't have that up. So that's
most recent game, 48% rep participation for Isaiah Likely, 52% for Mark Andrews. So
yeah,
kind of
they're rotating. They're rotating, and in 12 and then 11 they're rotating.
Okay.
It's just package. It's all package play.
Yeah. And that's why I don't like Andrews where he goes. He's like the tight end, like, was he 6 or something? And I'm like, gosh, he's not even a full-time player. We're paying or I guess he's lower than 6. I guess he's the tight end 8 or 9, but he feels overpriced too. I don't know. I'd rather take a guy like you mentioned, like a Barner or a Johnson or something like that, where we're all gambling for a tight end versus 100% drafted Mark Andrews.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been clicking Fannin. Ertz seems to project well because people have been clicking him a little bit earlier than I thought. I always like Hawkinson. But again, you never know. It's kind of very similar to the Likely Taylor Barner. You're just hoping for a touchdown.
Yep.
Where everyone wants to go to Fannin, and I get that, but is Njoku seems like a pretty also a great matchup.
Yeah, I've been pondering on him too. I think again they're going to play a lot of 12, so they both are probably pretty good clicks on a pretty easy matchup against the Jets that are playing pretty much JV squad out there.
It's just not fancy enough. No one wants to win a dog bowl seat with David Njoku. But no, I don't know. People don't. I agree though, Neil. I think he's super live, and I don't think I've seen him drafted. I've seen Fannin drafted in a lot of drafts, and I don't know. Njoku on Twitter, he was excited to stay. Maybe that was just I don't know. But we've forgotten about this guy. They play a ton of 12 too, and seems like it's going to be a good matchup. I like the Njoku shout there.
Yeah.
I want him to be traded. Really want him to be traded, but since he's still there.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping he would be on the move. But again, they're going to play a lot of 12. They're going to run the crap out of the ball with Judkins. It's a low over under, but you never know that game could pop for some touchdowns. They could get 3-4 touchdowns, and then they could be hitting the optimal lineup. So what do you guys think? You want to jump in the lobby here and try to see if we can draft a couple, at least draft one shipper on stream?
Yeah,
it's been the goal.
For sure. Yeah, this is the one.
Let's do it. All right. I'm probably going to get kicked off again, but we're going to try it real quick. And then I have to go to my phone. Oh, it worked.
There we go.
Wait on 8.
All right, I'm in. Or do you want me to
draft against us? It's totally up to you. If you
want to get the volume, Chad, feel free.
No. I'll hop out. I'd rather do it with you guys than.
Okay.
So.
Cool.
If it's not filling, I can join. But yeah, I think it's more fun to do it this way. gonna do plenty of these. I don't.
Nice. That way we don't have to hide things from each other.
You just brutal, this silent stream. Just
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of glaring at each other.
Waiting on 5. If anyone wants to join us,
Getting there.
He's been feeling pretty slow.
They have been
seeing.
Even I watched Davis's stream earlier, and he was doing dog bowl, and it like didn't move when he was like, "All right, I'm in the dog bowl." Like nobody entered. It was like, that's weird. That doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's hoops. Like if
it probably is. You're probably right.
At like peak hoops, like inactive announcements or whatnot.
Yeah.
Could be.
I have nothing but respect for the hoops grinders every day, and you can't really do much until the end, and everything gets flipped on its head anyway. It's like, that is a brutal sport to be doing.
Yeah,
it is. It is Wednesday, so usually that's a pretty good size slate. So.
Yeah, huge slate for I'm actually not entered in even DraftKings right now, which I usually try to do it because I do content for Wednesday. So whenever I do content for it, I want to get into it. But so far I'm like, I've got another show in an hour. It's like so difficult with so many games.
So while we get a little bit of time, Chad, let's talk Dawg Bowl, man. Have you started looking at week 14? Have you? What's your thoughts? Are you just gonna wait and see, or what are you doing?
So I think I'm going to start pretty soon. There's that like fine line between like early research and like take lock, and I don't want that to happen. I've mentioned like the only other live final I got to was the King of the Beach and DraftKings 2 years ago. And I did my preliminary research and I was like, this Titans Jags game, that's the game I want to target. That game looks awesome, like 3 weeks out. And by the time the week happened, I was consuming all the content. Nobody mentioned that game. Everyone's like, yeah, it's that game's kind of sucks. And that was literally the game you needed. Like that was the game that went off and like 1 or 2 people, I'm like, I had some lineup. I was like, I would have gotten like second in the damn thing. Like if I just like stuck with my initial thing. By the end, I had nobody in that whole game. And the game was like, it was the game.
That's the worst.
So I don't know. I think there is something to be said for like looking at it before anything's come out, because you just have your own thoughts and you're not influenced by anything. But I also don't want to be like, okay, this is, I want to pursue X stack or Y stack, and then like, circumstances change and I get locked in. But I'll start taking a look at it for sure, because it is getting closer.
Yeah. I haven't looked at it yet. It's probably going to be like a 10 or 11 gamer would be my thought. I think that's the last week of buys.
Yep.
This happens week 14.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Niners, Giants. I know they're on bye.
That's right. No CMC.
Yeah, no CMC. I was sad. Or I wasn't sad. I was like, well, no Scatabo, because love Scatabo is my favorite player. I was like, well, he won't be on the slate, so I don't have to make the decision, because I'm like, he's a brand, like, he's like my favorite player. So I'm like, well, well, then that doesn't matter anymore. But he's
bummer.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? Are you going to be a night owl? Are you going to be good boy and get your rest? What are you going to do? You thought about that?
I'm bringing my wife, and we have our 2-year-old, so I will be probably one of the earlier ones to go to bed, just by virtue of cashing in a lot of capital to drag the wife and kid to Kansas City in December as it is. And it's like, oh, let me go out drinking with some fantasy football friends. I might use too much husband capital there, but I'll definitely hang out with everyone. I'm so excited to meet people and to do that.
Yeah, happy for you, man. That was a pleasant surprise seeing you up top, and because I knew that you're gunning for it this year, so it was good to see you have a plan, work the plan, and get home. So congratulations.
Well, I'm telling you, I was really pulling for you last slate. I was just about as excited for you as for like when I got it. I was like, we got to get Mathology there. Like, let's make this happen. So hopefully this week is the week. I'd love to see that.
We've been knocking on the door. It was 9th last week, 13th the week before. We've been close.
And so. Awin's got 3 seats, so we're done with him.
Done with Awin.
That is nice.
Done with Awin.
Yeah. One thing that I thought about like 2 weeks ago when he started having his success, he's waiting until like Friday, and then he's just like 150ing on Friday, Saturday. And I'm like, maybe I need to save more bullets for later in the week.
I think there's something to be said for that for all these, because I think you get the 150 maxers who have the combos they want, and now they're reaching, and you can just like grab a lot of ADP value. Like I do think that happens. So there's definitely something to be said for waiting to the end, because you have the high volume drafters who now don't really care as much about ADP, and they're trying to do specific things to plug holes. So
you're right. That's something I've seen in when I used to play more hoops and stuff. It was like you would often see like combos that you can't get early in the week. You start to get them, or in the day, you start to get them closer to lock.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. So I've been kind of going a little bit slower this week than weeks past, just like early in the week. Usually I have a hard time like Friday, Saturday, because I'm busy with family and everything, all my other commitments. So it's harder to like be in rooms. But this week I'm going to try to be a little bit more heavier later in the week, especially the way it's feeling. I think we're going to be drafting this thing on Saturday, or definitely Saturday, maybe even Sunday this week.
Wow. I know, Math, if we go, this is who we're going to be hanging out with if we go AZ Cards. He's going to be the night owl.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm going to be, I'll be staying up super late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do my best drafting, man. Get that third eye opened up.
That's right. All right. We need 3 more.
Man.
3 more still.
Waiting on 2.
2 more. Okay.
So Chad, well, we got some time. Let's boost up your YouTube channel every morning. Like I said earlier, it's my morning routine. You pretty much fire up a stream every morning at 8:30. Is that correct?
Yep. Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. Unless something comes up or I have some commitment, just stream for usually an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a lot of fun. I'll do dog polls, BRs. I started trying to do more wildcats because I think it's easier for people to join the $3 contests. So been doing more of those. And frankly, I think I should be playing more wildcats. It's just a much more like sustainable for the bankroll contest. I think the payout structure is just better by like a lot. So been doing more of those, and yeah, just hanging out. It's a lot of fun. I hit 300 subs today, so that was like a goal of mine. Really excited to hit that, and just trying to keep it going. And I'll stream best ball when best ball's back. So we're just football's year round now, so I will be there 8:30 a.m. Monday to Friday.
Is football the only sport you play?
What's that? Sorry.
Is it the only sport you play? Football?
I do a little bit of like MMA DFS.
Okay.
Well.
Nice.
Yeah. I was big into golf. I honestly might have retired. I just keep losing. I'm just not good at golf. I'm over it. I think football and MMA.
DFS. Yeah. I will never catch you live because you're just too early for me. But I need to start watching some of your replays. Like it doesn't pop into my stream because you're never live when I get on YouTube.
Right.
I need to seek out the Chad, because I can still wake up with Chad at 11 a.m. I can still watch his stuff even if it's not morning for him.
I started doing timestamps. So you can just skip to the nice. DBQs.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like. I'm an early riser, so I like it. Plus, it helps fill the rooms kind of in the morning too a little bit. So it's been fun to jump on with you and watch and draft with you.
Yeah,
in those kind of morning hours.
It is funny because I feel like I see the view count tick up when I'm in a dog bowl. I'm like, are you guys just getting into to watch it? That little bit of EV. Everyone doing these is looking for every bit of EV. But it is funny because I'll be like, people either really like watching them or there's a lot of lurkers.
Yeah.
But no, it's so fun. I really like doing those and just being able to talk out the process and talk with chat and everything. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate, hey, Neil, and Math, I really want to appreciate y'all having me on here. It's been so much fun and means a lot that you'd have me. So thank you.
No, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you giving us your time. Yeah. Of course, happy to have you on.
Awesome.
So your YouTube is, by the way, it's just YouTube. I'm going to put it into the description of the video, but it's just at Chad Cantles for anybody who wants to find Chad's YouTube. I was not already subscribed, which I thought that I had subscribed, but I am now. So now you have 301.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, perfect. The road to 400.
Nice. Road to 400. So speaking of golf, I did a little bit of Underdog golf, kind of not playoff, but it was like the majors only stuff. You think you're gonna get into that at all, or is it just on the DraftKings side?
I have, so Mayo released his like rankings for like the scramble, and everyone that used them shipped, and I used them, and I like lost my shirt. I had the worst RNG. I had like half the expected one. I think you needed Scheffler, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. And I ran so bad. I looked at, I had, I think you're expected like 16% of each player or something. I had like 8 of him. I'm like, this sucks. And so I had a very bad, there was overlays. I was chasing overlays. So I'm like, I wasn't even going to max this, and I never auto off a ranking. I was just like, oh, this was bad. I should have like, but yeah, I like the contest. I wish the Underdog, I'd probably play it more if their weekly stuff or their daily stuff was like the full week. Instead, their contests are like per day, which I don't like, and makes it like showdown. I'm like, this is like, why don't we just have those for the full tournament?
Right.
I don't really understand why they don't. I thought they last year said they were going to, and that hasn't happened. But yeah, I might jump in the season long stuff because I do like the best ball format and the sweat. But the other thing is it became a contest of like figuring out what players were playing the most tournaments versus figuring out who was actually good.
Yep.
And so I'm like, it doesn't really reward like what I don't know. I was just like,
Yeah,
it could have been done slightly better. Maybe. I don't know if the solution was like bigger rosters or maybe even smaller. I don't know, but it needs a little tweaking in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it should be like a 4-day tournament.
Yeah,
I agree. All right, waiting on one. Anyone want to
Fun
join
fact
us?
though, I got my goat horns with PGA.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
I suck at it, but I did take down a tournament for like $2,000 or something some weekend on like a Saturday morning. Just got lucky, despite not really knowing golf. I just kind of tried to do like combos that other people won't have. Is kind of my game with PGA stuff. Yeah, so got kind of lucky there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Neil, I also realized myself I was just a mooch and I wasn't a member, so I rectified that.
That's funny.
So
You gonna
There
do
we
any
go.
playoff best balls there, Chad, on your show? You gonna get into that?
yes,
Nice.
yes, I will be doing. I'm excited for the way too early. I think Davis said that they did that this week last year, but because they're doing the Q4, they'll probably wait a week. But I love playoff best ball. I've never had any success, but it's really fun, and I'm gonna give it a go again this year.
Yeah, it was fun. I made the gauntlet final last year.
That's awesome.
Chad, I didn't realize you meant that you actually signed up. I thought you
Oh
meant you
yeah,
just subscribed to the
I've
channel.
been a
I
sub,
appreciate
but
it.
now I signed up.
Yeah. All right, Sean. We got Sean to sign up. If anybody else watching later wants to go find Chad's channel, it's just in the description of this video. Should be there now. Although I put it in there as @ChadCandles, and it came up with a little thing, and now I look at it and it doesn't look the same. But I think it'll go to your channel if somebody clicks the link.
Perfect.
So we got the 10 guys. We got the 10. We got Dave and Steady punched last year. Mike's already punched this year. Crutches punched last year, or all 3 years. And so same as Lee. So we got a good room.
Yeah, these rooms are always so tough.
Yeah. We'll see what slides here.
Yeah, I mean, is there any point in the week when the rooms are not tough in the Dog Bowl? Feels like it's like minimum of like 9 are going to have red badges.
Yeah,
or badges of some sort.
We have 2 no badgers at the beginning.
Yeah, this seems like more than usual.
Like
A
chain at the 2.
Yep, changes up.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, because you're just not going to get them at pick 23. But
right,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's defensible.
Yep, James Cook, not steady, not afraid of the Q tag. I wonder if we'll see him fall in any rooms, like if he's someone you could get like around where we're picking if you get lucky, or
Yeah, it could happen. I think it would be fun to try to get a Cook Allen pairing.
Yeah.
Later in the week, especially. I mean, it definitely will happen if he's out tomorrow. But
oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, people will get very scared if he misses practice tomorrow.
Yep.
Probably rightfully so, to be honest. They might not need him against the Dolphins.
Yep.
All right. We're going to be up in right now. We got Henry Jefferson. You do McBride because he probably won't come back. I think Lee will probably take McBride. What do you guys like?
I'd be Henry or McBride, but I don't know you guys' temperature on the McBride. It sounded like you're a little cooler on needing elite tight end. So to me, I would take Henry, but it's up to
Sure,
y'all.
I'm fine with either of those. Yeah, either of those work for me. Your
Like,
call, Matt.
If we don't think,
I think they're going to try to run the ball against Minnesota.
like if you don't think McBride separates and you like the late tight end, then I don't know.
Yeah. I just don't really. I think running back dries up pretty quick, so I kind of just want an anchor. And if we get lucky, I'd say a Junkins falls to us. I think that would be a pretty hot start. But then we still got Adams and Buka to pair with Henry.
Yeah.
I kind of like that start.
The only consideration that I like thought about going McBride there because it would make it more likely for Judkins to fall for us, like gives us that one running back buffer. If like there's one person between us who's like, I need to get a running back, they'd probably be more likely to take Henry. So like I sort of thought like maybe we would go McBride just to make it more likely. But like you said, but there's a lot of risk there. Like when it's still pretty likely that somebody takes Judkins regardless. So
right. I like that shout though. That'd be something worth playing with next time. You know,
definitely something to consider, like those kind of like a buffer pick, just like you said, like when you're drafting, having those guys. So are you all elite quarterback, or would you rather take like a Devontae Igbuka here?
I'm not really quarterback, but I'm open to it. If you want to go Lamar, I mean, we could do Lamar Henry if you wanted. Obviously, that's not exactly the same because it doesn't catch passes, but it's fine.
I like Adams here.
I like Adams too.
Yeah, I think I'd pick Adams if this was my this were my crew. But it's just I think it's a big decision point for the turn drafter is do they go elite QB or not?
Yeah.
I would hate doing one Lamar Henry team, like maybe in my whole portfolio, and just say like Baltimore like smashes or the game goes nuke, like take like a I don't know, like an Addison, like try to just game stack it and just take all the touchdowns there.
Yeah,
I would do that one or two times if I was doing a lot of these.
Yeah, it's gonna be a low owned combo, I think, and like they negatively correlate. But like if you look through, and I've brought this up on my showdown stream several times, like you can look at fantasy points weekly fantasy points scored last year, and like there were several games where it was like one of them has 25, the other one has 30, and like that you'll take that all day if you get that from Henry and Lamar. So like it's not like super highly correlated like you are with pass catching backs, but like you can still get those spike weeks where they just run all over teams.
Yeah. I mean, we got two guys that love to score touchdowns, so we just got to hope that the Vikings are giving it up a little bit. So I kind of want to see if Addison's available in that kind of 3-4. Definitely will be there 3-4, but I don't know. We probably won't be able to push him to the 5th. I think that's a fun little mini saying that game pops. Henry breaks one, and then Addison's coming back on the deeper shots. I think he had an ADOT of like 25 last week. Like he was screaming downfield a lot.
Yeah.
I guess I've just been a little cooler with Addison with JJ McCarthy. I don't know if I need to like not. I just I liked him more when it was Wentz. I don't know. I just feel like they have kind of the governor on the Vikings passing, and he seems like McCarthy is more comfortable with just throwing it to Jefferson or even Hawkinson. But I don't know. He's a guy I've had trouble getting to, and I don't think that's necessarily right. I'm just telling you that's like been my take so far, how I played it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, but at the same time, like I do think Addison is talented. Like he threw to him in the preseason, and they look good together in the preseason. The Addison JJ connection. So I think like that's my concern too, is that they might still have a governor on the passing game. But I also think like at some point, JJ looked good in the last game. At some point with a healthy offensive line, I think part of what we've seen is like against Atlanta, just like zero time behind that terrible backup offensive line for the Vikings. And then JJ had the high ankle sprain for half of that game. So like I thought this most recent game was at least promising in terms of like, didn't always look like they were just babying him. Like it was like the guardrails on, looked like they were starting to take him off a little bit.
That's fair.
I like leaning into uncertainty, especially with super talented players with Addison. I mean, And JJ, McCarthy's only like played in like 3 games, so it's one of those we just haven't seen it yet. But when it happens, it's like duh, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I like leaning into that stuff.
I just want to answer Sean's question about what this is that we're playing here. So it's like a mini best ball draft for the weekend. It's not actually best ball in the sense that every player that we take is going to be on our roster, whereas best ball, it's like that's what defines best ball, is like you pick more players than you're going to get, and then you just get the best of those players. This is just you draft 6 players for just this weekend's games. All 6 of those players will be in your lineup. You get a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers, a tight end, and then a flex. And 12-person draft here. There's also 6-person drafts that are similar to this. And this one is for the Dawg Bowl, which is this is a qualifier for a live final in Kansas City, which Chad is already going to, and Math and I are trying to.
Let's get there.
Yeah.
Got to get there.
Well, interesting room with the quarterbacks flying off the board in the second. And Laporta goes early, White over here. No one's touched the Bears yet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's something we'll have to think about.
Oh, there goes Swift.
Swift goes.
Yeah, this is later than we've seen some of them go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Starting to see a little pivot. Has ETR pushed out projections yet? Usually it's what, right about now? 7,
I think
8
it's
o'clock?
usually in 3 hours.
Oh, okay. It's later.
2 hours. Okay.
2 hours. Yeah.
So do we want Monangai? Because Crutches can't take a running back.
Or Garrett. I mean, he'll probably take Garrett.
I love Garrett Wilson. I'm big. I do like Garrett Wilson if he's
he's there. Man, this is a tough call for me.
Really tough call. Yeah.
Let's get Wilson down, because I think this is a good value, and see if these guys take Kyle or not.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Makes sense.
And we still got Harrison as another option if we want to go 3 wide receivers.
Yeah. Yep. No, I think that's a good call. I'm really hoping that Garrett Wilson does not play this week, because my opponent in the Eliminator has Garrett Wilson and will be thin if Garrett Wilson doesn't play. He also has Chris Godwin, so I'm really hoping that both of them sit this week. Yeah.
That's awesome. You still have an Elim team. My last one died last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 weeks ago. I got pretty lucky. Held on to win by like 1.5 or something on Monday night. And then this week I was just facing an opponent that I think didn't have a quarterback, if I remember right. Now I'm already moving my brain to this next matchup. So I've gotten some good luck, some bad luck.
So we could do the mini with Addison. We could also get Demont with that 4 touchdown implied total with Detroit, saying that he gets 2 of them. We can set up something with Mayer or Caleb too, if we wanted to.
I'm cool with either.
Addison
or Demon, I think, are both good options. I think one of those would be the direction I go. Up to you.
What do you think, Chad?
Addison. Let's do it. You guys like Addison. You tried to set up, or you wanted to set up this game stack. It opens McCarthy as a potential option.
Yep.
I like Stafford over. I like to just take that as a mini there and probably still get Stafford. Be my lean here.
Yeah.
I hate to decide for you. I mean, Monty's fine. I've seen him go pretty late. I don't think he'd come all the way back to us, but I've gotten him late in the 5th.
I don't love Monty. It's just I think they're going to score 4 touchdowns, so I just want to go touchdown hunting. Versus it's hard to go touchdown hunting in other backfields.
Yeah.
Like
JMO was there too that we didn't discuss, but I feel like the Addison across from Henry does make, and like you said, like if Addison has a big week, where are we taking him next week? Like he's going to be, a round and a half ahead of this. Like, taking those players before you see them, there's something to be said. I guess I watched the game, and that's probably bad, because in my mind, like every time there's a big play, he was throwing it to Jalen Naylor. I'm like, what is this? And then I look at the numbers. I'm like, no, it was Addison was there, but I think he was like targeting Naylor more than he should have. Like it was,
for some reason they love targeting Naylor. They love targeting him in the end zone in particular.
Yeah, so that's why in my mind I'm like, I don't know. Like we have this young quarterback. Is he really going to support what we need from him. But again, all the talent in the world, and
Yeah.
we are buying pretty low here.
Chad, you're
Yeah.
not a Vikings fan, are you?
I'm a Dolphins fan, sadly enough.
Okay. That is sad.
That is sad.
They stink. They haven't been to the Super Bowl since I've been alive. It's been rough.
Yeah, I think the same is true of the Vikings. I can't recall them ever. I'm pretty sure they haven't been to the Super Bowl since I've been alive either. But I'm not 100% on that. I think that's true.
Yeah, I guess I can't complain. There's a lot. There's several teams like that, but man, the Dolphins. We haven't even won a playoff game since 2000. Like it's been terrible.
Is that Chad Pennington?
That is the immortal Chad Pennington, former Jets legend turned Dolphin.
Yeah. Mr. Pennington.
It's been rough.
Yeah.
We just had this like decade and a half of going like 10-7, like getting into the first round and losing, or like missing the wild card on a tiebreaker, and it just like this mediocrity. And now we're even worse.
Yeah.
But,
well, hopefully you get a quarterback. I mean, you got some talent.
Oh, we had one. I was in the tank for Tua. I was so excited. I have a Tua jersey. I feel like an idiot. That stinks. So bad.
Yeah. It's not great.
No.
I think most Dolphins fan wanted Tua. Like it seemed like he was going to be really good.
I'll admit it. I thought I was going to be mad if we took Herbert over Tua. I was one of those people, and the whole internet's like, "Oh, we should have taken Herbert." No, you weren't there. Nobody wanted Herbert. Everyone was like, "If the GM takes Herbert, that's it. I'm done." And I was like, "Yeah, Herbert." Because I'm a Pac-12 guy, so I was like, "Oh, they stink. Like, Pac-12 defenses were all bad. Like Herbert's just a Pac-12." Nope, Herbert was awesome. I was wrong again.
Yeah.
This is why I don't do scouting from college.
Got a cannon for an arm.
Oh my God, so good.
I think the injuries, that just piled up onto it's just a lot of injuries that he had to overcome.
Yeah. The hip thing, like it changed, like they did some like before and after, like mucked with his throwing motion. Like he was never the same player.
Yeah.
After that, so it stinks. It was a terrible run out for him, and then the concussion stuff. Like but yeah, tough times.
Tough times.
Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked some people are still on the board here.
Yeah, let's not talk about it, Chad.
Like Bucky Irving. No one wants him.
Well, I think a lot of people know that it's not looking good. The fact that he didn't practice today after coming off a bye, that's not a good sign. I mean, Tyler, he was kind of breaking it in the chat. It seems like a long shot. So, unless you want to stay on the clock and swap.
Yeah.
But so you kind of want to click him when he's your flex, not at your RB spot.
Yeah, when you're locked in there.
Yeah, and you're locked into a swap on a running back versus a wide receiver.
Jordan Mason goes playing that angle. Aaron Jones Q tag.
Yeah.
So we don't have any quarterbacks behind us. I kind of want to probably stack up Stafford, unless we really like Kincaid or Henry over the other tight ends.
I really like Kincaid. That was the guy, and I'm sorry I forgot.
No, I mean Crutches probably wasn't
I don't think
was going to miss him.
Yeah.
Like
you guys want to do Stafford now, and we can have a tight end discussion on the way back?
That works for me. You're into Stafford. That's not that I'm not. I'm just like you highlighted him earlier, so I'm into that.
Yeah.
Are you guys cool on Loveland now? I mean, he just got drafted. Are we back to being afraid of Komet? It was a limited practice. He obviously still has to go through concussion protocol, but the fact that he's practicing suggests.
I'm not. He's a major part of the offense, and they've been running 12. So
I don't know how you put that back in the bottle. Like he looks so good.
Oh, Crutches, I know you're not sniping. Don't worry. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
You are not taking things from me. Like I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like Loveland.
Yeah. But which at this point, which is the tight end du jour?
I don't mind Fannin, stay in that game environment. Wilson,
Yep. Little mini there.
I don't mind Henry against the Bucks. I think that's a good click right now. He looked good last week.
Yeah, maybe no booty. They throw that in a bit more.
Those are my two favorite. I don't mind on, but I feel like these two have a higher ceiling.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite's Juwan Johnson, but not enough to like, tell you
Right.
to override the team you're building.
Yeah, I'd
I
rather
think
be.
all of these
Yeah.
guys are live. Like it's just,
Let's be tied to the best quarterback there. This is versus Cleveland. Like May's gonna have to sling it. They're gonna have. They take him out quite a bit. That's one thing I saw when I was at the game. Is I was surprised how much he comes off the field as they're running all these crazy 21 packages. They were really rotating between 11, 12, and 21, like a lot. I thought that was very odd, but it works out. They're winning games. And he comes out when they play 21. But it's he was definitely getting wide open in the middle of the field, which Tampa Bay gives up a little bit. So he's got some yak potential. So I like that clip for us. I like our squad.
Yeah, I like this team too. It's like all guys I'm pretty into. I've now been Addison pilled. I'm counting him in the group.
Nice.
Got to start taking some of him.
Yeah, I think he's one you don't want to fade, like completely fade. He just has the talent. He has the talent.
In that like T. Higgins mold where it's like you feel like an idiot when he nukes and you're like, why did I draft him in the middle of the board when everyone around him is kind of a similar bet?
Yeah. And guess who nuked last week was Higgins. So maybe this week it's Addison. Yeah. We just got to get Wilson back healthy, and Fields needs to play half decent. It's a good squad. It's a good
Are
team.
you? I don't think we really touched on it. Are you taking any Fields at this point, or are we still waiting? Is he a guy we wait for a little more word on?
I think he's playing. I haven't been clicking a lot of them because I've been kind of in that Drake May Dart. And then I like Stafford and Darnold a little bit more than Fields. I feel like they're a little bit more of a sure bet for 20, 25, 30 points than Fields is, just on a confidence level. But I'm not going to shy away from Fields.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough matchup, so I'm not like prioritizing it, but I agree, like not. And obviously he runs enough that you don't have to worry as much about the tough matchup, but
yep.
I think it's fine.
So our friend Crutches does Mariota with Debo, and he does Kyron, Hall, J-Mo, Kincaid. So it's a very strong lineup. Play projects very well. It's a good lineup.
Yeah, I like Kincaid a lot against the Dolphins.
Yeah. Our friend Chad Lee with numbers goes McCarthy with Jefferson. He does the Judkins, Kyle Monangai, Zach Ertz, and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Did you pop out the board? Is that why we can't see it and you look like you're reading the screen?
Yeah, I was impressed. I was like, you just ripping us off the top.
How do you know?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I had it. No, I did this. Can you guys see it now?
No, we can't see it.
We couldn't for a second, and then it's
sorry. Yeah. I was trying to share
it. See it.
What about now?
Can't see it now.
No.
Okay.
We could for one moment.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just click it now we can see it. You just can't pop it out.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. I was popping it out. I gotcha. Yeah. Popping it out.
Yeah.
Our friend Dave goes Darnold with JSN. He's got the Kittle Waddle, Demont, and he does the BTJ Q tag with potential in. Did he practice today, by the way? Do you know?
Who's this?
I
BTJ.
don't think so, but I can check.
I know one that was a limited practice.
Limited?
Oh,
Garrett
really?
Wilson, yeah.
Oh, Garrett Wilson.
Oh, gotcha.
Garrett Wilson was limited. BTJ, I thought was.
Crutches said he did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think so. And then last year's dog bowl puncher Steady. He goes Dart, Cook, Olave, Moore, Theo, and Douglas. Looks like a team that I drafted earlier this week.
Nice. Strong.
And then Mike C, who punched last or 2 weeks ago. And I think he punched in Miami, so he's a 2-time Dog Bowl qualifier. He went Allen, Puka, Swift, Jennings, Loveland, Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Aaron Jones looked good last week, I got to say. I drafted a lot more Jordan Mason, and I've been arguing that Mason was a better pick than Aaron Jones. But like that game I was watching, it was like, man, Aaron Jones
Yeah, it's
looks better than he has recently at all. So
he's got juice. And it's one thing with the Ravens, they're a little bit long in the tooth, and they're a little bit slow on defense. So I think you kind of want Jones more than Mason this week.
Yeah. But Jones is still hurt. Like he was on the injury report with multiple injuries. So that's
right.
That's if you take Mason, you're hoping that Jones just doesn't play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jones, I like that a lot.
Yeah. So a lot of the grinders going to go more the 1-2-2-1 versus the 1-3-1 that we built, and that's kind of how I've been playing it too. I've been a little bit more 1-2-2-1 pilled this week and last week versus the 1-1-3-1. I will have some 1-1-3-1s like we built, especially when we get like a wide receiver or like a running back like Henry and wide receivers like we got early. I think it's very viable on the 1-1-3-1s that way. So what do you think, Chad? What's the roster construction and what's the number that gets home this week?
I'm kind of 1-2-2-1 pilled myself. I don't know. I'm thinking you need like 155 to get in.
You think it's a high scoring slate?
Wow.
I don't know. I could see a couple of these different game environments work. Like I think a lot of these pieces, I mean, I look at the third round and I'm like, there's a lot of firepower, in round 3. I could see a lot of these guys hitting and some of the late round clicks I like. I just feel like anytime you're willing to just like punt quarterback like to the end, like it's probably because you feel like pretty confident in a number of spots to where it's either you feel pretty confident in a lot of spots or you're just like everything stinks. So you're kind of agnostic. I think it's more the former for me. So I don't know. I could see this kind of being a sneaky high-ish scoring slate.
So do you think out of the high scores, is it coming from the running back position or the wide receiver position?
I mean, it's hard to say it's not running back just the way that it just tends to go on Underdog. But I mean, I could see a lot of these like Garrett Wilson, Debo, Waddle, Odunze guys having, getting in the mid 20s this week, and maybe if you can pair a couple of them up or, and then just hit on the running backs, you could be off to the races.
Yeah. So to put it in context, last week, week 9, 60 total touchdowns, 36 was passing or through the air and 24 was rushing. And to compare that with the other high scoring slate, which was week 7, which was 59 touchdowns, and that was 29 passing and 30 rushing.
I guess my limiting factor and why maybe I'll pull the brakes on my overall numbers, I think a lot of the tight ends are in bad spots. So like some of the higher scoring weeks, there's been a lot of tight ends to score 2 touchdowns. I don't see that this week. So maybe I should like trim my number a little bit. Cause I do think tight end is you're not going to have that week where you saw like Ferguson and the week, like I can't remember exactly what there was one week where like all the tight ends it was like that week or like the week before we just saw, I think it was the week before National Tight End Week, like a whole heap of tight ends had like multiple touchdowns or a ton of yards in touchdowns. So you take that out, it could be kind of a average scoring week.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Crutches at like 125. It just kind of screams to me like it could be a little bit on a low scoring slate, and historically 1-2-2-1s do well. But again, you can get home with 1-1-3-1 with the right combos. If you land the wide receivers that get the touchdowns. To me, it's just like the wide receivers just kind of fall off a cliff this week. Just like how the routes that they run and their game totals, stuff like that. Like we're seeing Debo. Hasn't had granted, Debo can get home, but like he's wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, wide receiver 10,
Yeah. It's been kind of disappointing for what we thought.
Oh, no, not 10, but like closer to 13, 14. So
yeah,
be an interesting slate. I think there's a lot of cool angles. I think we talked a lot about them. And again, like we've seen the last couple of weeks, man, there's going to be some out tags that are going to kind of flip this slate. So that's why it's good to stay on the clock and keep your eyes and ears in the Discord and on the X machine to get up to date on all the news and information. And if you see an angle, don't be afraid to take it, because there's a lot of different paths to get to the mountaintop, and you just need to have that one that's a little bit unique than the rest of the field.
For sure.
But a lot of fun, Chad. Thank you so much for joining us. Neil, as always, you're the best. Thanks for having this show on about the Dawg Bowl. And especially some of the people that are just joining us new. We had some new people come in, so that's great. Come join us. The lobby's warm. It's a little bit steep on a $25 price point, but it's a lot of fun, especially if you are the one to punch. You're going to have the time of your life in Kansas City.
For sure. Chad, do you want to shout out your channel or anything else you want to shout out before we get out of here?
Sure. Yeah, I just want to thank you two for having me on. This was so much fun. Really, it's a great time just chatting with you guys. So thanks again. But yeah, I'm on 8:30 a.m. The at Chad Candles on YouTube. Wake up best ball, draft for a couple hours, do some dog bowls, do whatever else, and just hang out. It's a good time.
Yeah, go check out Chad in the morning. Math, anything else before we get out of here?
Nope. If you are a member to the Flaniverse, I've been throwing a lot of my thoughts on the slate in the channel that Neil was gave me permission to kind of play around with. I throw a lot of just hot takes that I'm thinking of. And again, I'm not right 100% of the time, but if you just want to see what I'm writing and spin it the way that you want to, feel free to jump in there, share your stuff if you like. Just good conversation piece as we're trying to solve this unique puzzle of week 10 to hopefully punch a ticket, but also make some money.
Yeah, anybody who has signed up on the YouTube channel or anybody who has been a guest on this show is in the Mathology's Maniacs channel on Discord. Check it out, Math. Pretty comprehensive breakdown of this week's slate. I don't know if we're going to get that every week. It's up to whatever time Math has, but yeah, he's given us a lot of good insights there in that Discord channel. Flaniverse Discord also free to join. Not that channel you need to be a member, but most of the Discord is free to join. There is a link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Also, if you haven't noticed the little streamer on the bottom, you can use promo code MATH if you want to check out the Underdog Masterclass. If you're trying to get into Underdog stuff, it's good stuff from Pete Overzet and the Badge Bros. Check that out. Use promo code MATH to get 10% off on the Underdog Masterclass. All right, that is going to do it. I'll be back tomorrow doing Thursday Night Football stuff twice on this channel, breaking down that slate if you're playing DraftKings DFS. And of course, we'll be back next week doing the Dawg Bowl once again. Let's hope we can punch one this week. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you.